and welcome back. If you're new, hello, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. The little button is down there, as is the bell. You can click them all and be awesome words. Anyway, today I wanted to share with you, as the title might suggest, my self-care plan. And that comes with a wee bit of a backstory, nothing too major, don't worry, we're not going to go too deep and meaningful today. As well as just catching up, shall we say. So, I've been thinking about doing this for over a month and just kind of been putting it off simply because I would have to admit that my health isn't where I want it to be, and that I've had to do things to deal with it. Also, the hair, people, the struggles. Anyway, so very quick backstory, and if you watch the vlogs you already know this, so you can skip past. So I have endometriosis. I've mentioned it before. I don't want to keep going into it because I feel like I'm saying it all the time. But since about March, I've been having pain daily because my pelvis has started to freeze. Sadly, I have lesions and adhesions like a lot of people with endometriosis, and it does mean that my insides are sticking together and to the outside. I think that's the easiest way of putting it. This is due to the endometriosis itself and to the surgery I've had and to the lifestyle that I've been leading, which I thought was relatively healthy, but there are things I can do to improve. So to be dealing with the whole pain and the change in lifestyle and everything else, I had to have a stern word with myself, and I had to put a self-care plan in place, and I just had to be kind to myself and look after myself and all that kind of jazz. So the video today, as we said, is self-care, and it's particularly aimed at people like myself that may be going through health issues and all that kind of jazz. Are we up to speed? Excellent. So let's get on with the self-care plan, shall we? And how I've been dealing with the change in my body and everything else. I have made some notes and I'm going to refer to them because I have a memory like a goldfish. Honestly, I do wonder about myself sometimes. So the first thing I want to address, as I said, health has taken a turn for worse, and if you have followed me over the years, you know I'm quite an active person. I was an Irish dancer. I haven't danced in 2 years. That's mental. But I also generally am quite active, out doing things. I was at one point, up until March, walking like 7 mile a day just to keep myself moving. And I was trying to lose weight, and I've been struggling to lose weight, and that's all tied to everything that's been going on. So the first thing I want to address because of all of this is grief, or grieving, allowing yourself to grieve. When I finally came to the realization that my body was starting to freeze up, my pelvis was starting to freeze up, obviously that has had a big impact in regards to how active I can be. As I said, I was walking like 7 miles a day, and then literally within the space of a day that stopped. So I've been having pain, having issues, and I've been gradually increasing until the point where if I was walking, it was making it much worse. So I went from walking 7 miles a day to barely being able to walk the length of myself. I know, like, I'm quite a stubborn person. So I tried to keep going, which probably made things worse. In fact, I know it made things worse. And I kept trying to go full steam in all aspects of my life in regards to work, activities, and just carrying on regardless. I thought this was just my endometriosis playing up like it had in the past, and it was going to pass. But after, you know, a couple of weeks, and like I said, one day I just actually couldn't. The pain was too great. I couldn't keep walking. And I think I must have sat and cried on and off for about 2 weeks, if I'm honest. I cried to my husband, to my friend, I cried for myself. The fact that I always in my head, I was going to go back and be an Irish dancer again. Yeah, that was what was going on in my head. That is definitely out the window. And things like I really want to be able to surf and get good at that. Simon's so good, it's impressive, but it's something I want to get good at and I want to practice. And also other activities like climbing and just being able to go for a nice walk in the countryside. We moved to the countryside so I could walk in the countryside. Now, talk about some bad timing. So I eventually, because I kind of just ignored it and whatever, I eventually just had to let it all out and allow myself to grieve for what could have been, almost so I could release it and refocus my energy on how I could work with what I had, basically. And like I said, I talked to some friends and talked to Simon, and we started to think about all the other things that I still could do. So for example, I've been doing Pilates for about 10 years, 15 years, on and off. And so I decided, I got things to settle down a wee bit, so I wasn't in absolute agony, and I went to a Pilates class, and I had a bit of a cry there while I was doing Pilates, because I realized that I just couldn't stretch the same way. I didn't have the strength or the power that I once had. However, I was able to do some of the more basic aspects, and I was able to do like plank. I can still do that, and I can still do side plank, and I can still do lots of other exercises. And some days I will have a really good day and I can do everything that I once could. They're slowly becoming more frequent, but not as frequent as I would like. But the point of this, the first point, is allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to be upset, because if you just keep holding it in, that can be more detrimental to your mental health and everything else. So allow yourself to just be upset for what you have lost, almost, or what you think you've lost. You know, that kind of way. Allow yourself to get frustrated and upset and let it out, if at all possible. That might mean you just stick it all in a journal, or you talk to somebody, if at all humanly possible. Just get it all out. Allow yourself to be sad. Don't be angry with yourself for being upset. I was that as well. So that's I don't recommend that. I was telling myself off for being upset. What was I thinking? Seriously. So first point, grieve. Allow yourself, as I've said 20 times, to grieve. The next big thing for me was sleeping. Interesting self-care plan here. Allow myself to cry a bit and then sleep. No, I was not sleeping enough for me. I should have known better, for starters. I need like 8 hours sleep, people. I need my sleep. I have tried, and for a long time I have worked on less, and I have gone from like 6 to 7 hours, maybe 7.5 hours. No, give me my 8 hours, or preferably like 9. But I need my sleep, and my body and my head felt a lot better when I got the sleep. So that meant going to bed a bit earlier and not getting up. So I was getting up at like 6:30 so I could do my yoga and then go for my big walk. So that is now, I get up at like 7, 7:30. I still do my yoga, as it's a nice way. It's something I can still do with my body. That's another thing I can still do. Most of it. But yeah, get some sleep. Your body, if you have any kind of illness, your body needs to help itself, and a way of doing that and allowing yourself some time to recover is to sleep. Now, you shouldn't be sleeping huge amounts, like we're talking, you know, within reason. I'm aware like one of the signs of depression is lots of sleeping, and also other ailments is the need to sleep a lot. So if you feel the need to sleep a lot, talk to a doctor, talk to somebody who would know better. You might have other things going on that you may not be aware of. Also, it could be part of your ailment that you need to sleep a lot. But if, like me, your body just needs some time to recover, sleeping is the one for that. And it helped my head a lot. It helped me become more positive because my mind was a bit more settled. So I need sleep, and I need to remind myself that I need sleep when it's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm like, seriously, what am I doing? Because it takes me half an hour to get ready for bed. So gotta be sensible, got to be sensible. The next one is diet and exercise, or maybe this should be nutrition and exercise, because it's not like diet. I'm not trying to lose weight here, although I really do want to lose a stone in weight, and that's slowly happening now that I've sorted myself out. I got some food tests done and discovered a lot in regards to reading about endometriosis. So I've done a lot of research, etc. on natural ways to heal endometriosis, because I don't want to be taking painkillers the rest of my life. I've already done 20 years of that. It's not good for your kidneys or liver. So I have checked and discovered that I'm actually lacking in a lot of things that help my body fight inflammation. So I'm addressing that. I'm also being more aware of what I'm putting into my body. So that means more organic foods. Yes, it can be a bit more expensive, but I'm more picky in what I buy. For example, we don't really buy ready meals anyway, but we're all the way back down on those. We still have Pizza Friday because it's a wee tradition. But during the week, I'm eating a lot more salads, and I am bulking those salads up. I am putting in, like, we've got chicken, lots of veg, and so much stuff in there. I seriously have a big bowl and I am stuffed. You can also put quinoa and all. Just think about what you're putting into your body and if it is going to help your ailment. It can be so easy, and I know this, when you're having a bad day. Today, I am not in the best of shape pain-wise. I can tell you that for free. And all I want to do is eat sausage rolls. I'm also thinking a lot about chocolate, and I have a thing for sausage rolls. Seriously, I don't know where this has come from, but I love them. I love them, particularly the slightly cheaper ones that you can microwave for like 40 seconds and they're steaming hot and soft and yummy. What is that about? But when I'm feeling rubbish, I want to eat rubbish. But then the cycle continues. I continue to feel rubbish because I've eaten rubbish, and then I want to eat more rubbish. I am very much aware, so I'm thinking about, I don't put in too much caffeine anymore. I should cut it out completely, but I've cut down to like 1, possibly 2 cups of tea a day, or a cup of coffee, or a tea and maybe a hot chocolate. I'm trying to get rid of, like, the hot chocolate isn't options. I'm gonna get rid, once that's gone, that's gone. I'm not gonna buy it again. I'm gonna try and get nice hot chocolate, that's the melty nice version, so that I can use that as a treat. I'm just trying to cut out as many ready-made things and things that have E numbers or anything basically that I don't need in my body. I have issues with a lot of E numbers, it turns out, and we're talking everything from binding products. I think that's the best way of thinking about it. So like stock cubes, stuff like that. I also seem to have issues with maize wheat. Wheat in general is bad for inflammation in the body. Discovered that on my reading. And also caffeine, obviously bad for inflammation. However, coconut oil and that kind of jazz is good, you know, so it helps. It's an anti-inflammatory. So what I've started to do, this is ridiculous. In my head it works. I'll have a coffee, but I'll have organic coconut sugar in it. Look at me trying to beat the system. But everything helps. I'm cutting out a lot of refined sugar. I've cut right down on a lot of those kind of foods. There wasn't very many there, but I've cut out as much as I possibly can. And I'm beefing up all my fruit and veg intake, and I'm trying to eat more organic because of the pesticides and all the other kind of stuff that's going into my body that isn't helpful for endometriosis or for my body in general. So I'm thinking more about that. In regards to exercise, I briefly mentioned the fact that I can still do yoga, woohoo, and a bit of Pilates. I've also discovered ballet, adult ballet. This is a nice low impact exercise. I can't do high impact because it pulls me, and I can't do that at the minute. Hopefully I will be able to soon. So I've discovered I can do ballet. I actually really enjoy it as well. So it's a lot of work from the waist down. Some days I'm better at it than others. The dancer in me loves it because I'm working muscles that I used to work, and I come out of class and I feel like I've done a proper exercise session. It's really good. Like it does work you out. So that I can still do. We're also going to try some stand-up paddleboarding, see if I can do that. I'm investigating different types of exercises I can still do. I have been able to start walking again, not huge amounts. And sometimes I have to stop and take a wee moment and have a little sit down. I've got my CBD vape that it is legal in the UK, in case, because some people are like, is that legal? It doesn't have any of the THC in it. It doesn't have any of the head mess. It's all anti-inflammatory. So I bring that with me when I'm out for my walk, and if I'm doing stuff, I use that a lot. So That's the diet and nutrition that I'm talking about. Making sure you're putting good stuff in your body and you're moving what you can, or you're doing as much kind of exercise that you can to help keep your body balanced, and see if you can get some endorphins going. And just, I seize up if I don't move at all. That's where I'm at. I completely seize up if I don't move. So I have to move a little bit, but just be careful with myself. So that's a wee bit waffly, but you get the gist. The gist, people. The next thing that has been helping me is to have fun with friends. Yep. So have fun with friends. That sounds like a really weird title for something, right? Yes, this is a sort of sensible kind of one though. I would like to curl up in a little ball and not see anybody and hide from the world. I kind of did that for a wee while, and I've not really been doing any videos or anything else. As you may have noticed, there's just been lots of vlogs. So have fun with friends. That could be just having a friend around for a coffee or a tea. It could be just, for example, I had an awesome weekend because we went to Leastock. Awesomeness. I wasn't really able to do very much. I mostly sat down, or I walked to the bathroom, and generally went via the bar on the way there and came back and sat down again. That was my loop. I made sure I brought my own food with me one of the days, so I would be able to eat good food on Saturday. But I got to hang out with friends in the sunshine and have the odd chat and do something that wasn't stuck in the house sitting down. So I'm aware, you know, just be sensible, but try and make yourself do things with friends if you can. It's surprisingly good for your head. Yes, it can be exhausting and you may be a bit sore after it, but you'll have that fun afternoon, or that time you spent, or just having a good chin wag. Whatever it is. We recently went for a wee walk, and like I said, I had to keep stopping, and it was brilliant because they had 2 kids and they were off investigating, so I had to keep stopping with those. So that was a really good excuse for me to just stop and just chill out. So yes, that was good fun. So have fun with friends, do something that will help your head, make plans, try to stick to them as much as you can, don't just give in. I'm not saying that it's always possible, but if you can, do it. Do get on. So I've just talked about having fun with friends. This is sort of almost the opposite. It's called taking the small wins. So yes, some days are just a no, and I honestly mean that. Today was almost very much a no, but I kind of got on and did stuff. Tomorrow may not be a good case. But some days I'm impressed if I can get myself into the shower and if I can get my face washed and still stand up afterwards. I'm even more impressed when I get downstairs. Okay, the downstairs isn't the impressive bit. It's coming back upstairs to my office and getting on with some work. That's, for me, it's not just a small win, that's a massive win. On a day where I feel so much pain that it's just buzzing around my head, it's a massive win for me. If I can go, like, just on days where you feel rubbish, doing the everyday activities are awesome. So that could be just making yourself a cup of tea, having a bit of lunch, walking up and down the stairs, getting washed and dressed. These are all really important things, and if you can do them, best thing. And it's so important to recognize that and don't dismiss it, okay? So take the small win, high five yourself, keep moving forward. Don't just dismiss it, well, I only managed to have a shower. Screw that, I managed to have a shower and I was through myself. Are you joking? That is epic. So take the small win, people, go for it. The next is kind of in the same vein. Keep moving forward. So we've taken the small win. We're delighted. We are high-fiving ourselves or clapping, you know, whatever. Then the best way of thinking about it is, okay, so a few months ago, I was actually fine, but then I suddenly really wasn't. So a few months ago, I was in really bad shape. I wasn't able to walk the length myself. Now, I can walk for like 20 minutes. Pretty slowly, but I can walk for 20 minutes. Not every day, but you know, at least 5 days out of 7, maybe. What I'm trying to get at, probably quite inarticulately, is that slow progress is still progress, and you want to just keep moving forward. You can maybe keep a journal of your days. So if you can sort of, even if it's just a measure of pain or what you've achieved or how you felt, you can look back and go, gee, I felt really bad and I wasn't able to do anything. And then a few weeks later, look at that, I'm now able to go up and down the stairs. Slow progress is still progress. It may not necessarily be an option for you, but it could be. It could be the fact that you're eating better. So, you know, you generally feel a bit better. Maybe you're not able to walk more, but you probably feel a bit better because you're putting good food in your body. Take the small wins. Remember, you're moving forward. We totally got this, people. I think. Maybe. I'm kind of making it up as I go along. It's all good. The last thing is to be kind. So this is just wrapping up what I keep saying. Just be kind to yourself and allow others to be kind to you. Sometimes if you're anything like myself, and we're stubborn people, if you are, we want to do everything ourselves. We want to be independent and still able to do all the things we could, and we hold on to that and try and be stubborn about it and not really doing ourselves any favours at all. Let's be real here, people. But if you allow yourself to be kind and you open yourself up and you allow others to be kind to you, it can massively help. Recently, like I said, I went to Leastock. It was awesome. I managed to do all of Saturday. Sunday was a no, but a friend very kindly came and picked me up in the evening and drove me to, like, we're talking, it was 20 minutes down the road, but I just couldn't manage it that day. He drove me to the festival and I was able to see Reef, who are one of my favourite bands. We've seen them live years ago and they're awesome, and they are just as awesome live. And they were singing, and at one point I swear they were singing directly to me. One of the songs was I've Got Something to Say, and there's interesting lyrics. And myself and Sam were standing beside each other and we had a wee hug and we had a wee moment, and I think both of us were almost in tears thinking, we've got this, it's gonna be alright, it's gonna be alright. And then by the time it came round to, what's the name of it? Consideration. That was it. I'm crap. The lyrics, fine. Name of the song, no. Consideration, they sort of wrapped up with that, and yeah, it was, when you're going through nonsense, we can all relate to various songs that are played and songs that we hear. But when you're at a live gig and you're with somebody and, yeah, yes, had a bit of a moment, but we're gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right, as he says. So yes, that was it. It's a bit of a chatty one. It's not really a case of have a bath and put on a face mask and I'm losing all the light and we've only got one spotlight on, people. So yeah, it's not necessarily your most stereotypical self-care, get a pedicure, hang out and do stuff, go for cocktails. But more if you're going through life-changing illnesses and you need to look after yourself. This is what has been working for me. And I really recommend the sleep thing, people. Seriously, when I don't sleep, I think somebody might die, quite possibly. But yes, so it all adds up to help with your mental attitude. I'm trying every day to have a positive mental attitude. Some days are a no, same as physically, they're a no. But for me, if I keep focusing on the positive and keep moving forward, I'm reminding myself that I am making progress, and I really am. I'm feeling generally like yesterday, I didn't have to take any pain relief at all. That's the first time in a couple of months. So this is, yeah, March, April, May, we're at the end of May. So that's the first time in 2 months I've not had to take anything, which is awesome. And I managed like pretty much a full-on Pilates class. So if I can increase the frequency, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So all the changes are adding up. Anyway, I just wanted to come on. I haven't done a proper sit-down video in ages, and I just wanted to come on and tell you. But that's it. That's the whole crack. Thanks a million for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please tell all of your friends, and I hope you're well. And I'll see you in the next video.